I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely,
that I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
that I will well and faithfully discharge
that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office on which I am about to enter.
the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Oneness. I am divine. I am divine. I am divine. Over the years, I've learned there is a spark of divinity within me and within all people. This divine spark binds us as members of one family and deepens our awareness of God. Today, my understanding of my divinity expands. My divine nature is so much more than a spark. It is truly my essence, who I truly am. I realize I don't have to rely on anything outside of myself for love, comfort, and guidance. Everything I could ever need from God is already mine and is expressing as me. My realization of oneness extends to all people, whom I now see as fellow divine beings. Freed from all illusions of separation, I am aware of the divine presence everywhere, expressing through everyone. We are divine. And the scripture, John 17:21, that they may all be one, as you, Father, are in me, and I am in you. May they also be in us. And so it is. Amen. And amen.
When tears fall from your eyes and life is so unkind, I will be the one to comfort you. When you're lost and all alone and your future is unknown, I will be the one I'll create a melody that only you can hear. I will give you strength to persevere. Don't be afraid, I'm here with you, in spirit and in truth and in love. When rain falls from your sky and you feel afraid to try, I'll chase the clouds away and comfort you. Whether near or far away, I'll bring sunlight to your day. I will be the one to comfort you. I'll create a rainbow just for you and I. Together we will fly and paint the sky. Don't be afraid, I'm here with you, in spirit and in truth and in love. I'll create a rainbow just for you and I. Together we will fly and paint the sky. Oh, don't be afraid, I'm here with you, in spirit and in truth and in love. Oh, there's one thing you should know. Wherever you may go, I will be the one to comfort you. Ooh. I will be the one to comfort you.
Happy Sunday, beloveds, and welcome to another experience together at Unity of Sacramento. It is my great joy to be with you, and to be with you in spirit, but also in words today. And I'm so thrilled and so delighted to be with you at this particular time in the evolution of our nation, because we're living in a world of paradoxes. We're living in a world of tremendous sadness, tremendous grief and loss. And we're also living in a time right now of great celebration and joy. And I want to spend some time with you, beloveds, today, supporting you, walking with you, with how to navigate through the times that we are finding ourselves in. And so I want to speak to you from the topic, mourning and comfort. Mourning and comfort. There is a verse of scripture that is very familiar to all of us. That comes from the book of Psalms, the 30th chapter, the 5th verse. And you've heard it, and you might want to just recite it. That great book of Psalms is a book of comfort itself. But it's also a book of tremendous trial, tremendous tribulation. But here's what it says. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. And if I am perfectly honest with all of you, we are living in a time for mourning. Right now, in our nation, 400,000 Americans have lost their lives due to effects related to the coronavirus. 400,000. I want you to just be real absorbent today. I want you to sponge up this message. I want you to slow down. I want you to draw your attention in from all the ways that you may normally participate in a message that's coming to you via live stream. And I'm asking you today to hang on to every word. Hang on to every word of this message. Absorb this message. And allow this message to permeate not just the outer edges of your consciousness, but move its way into the core of your being. Because I believe that something powerful can happen. And this particular message is interested in having you weigh in with the worth of words. So I'm inviting you today to slow down a little bit, heighten your awareness and your attention a little bit, become absorbent to get the full value of what we're walking through. So now that I have your attention, 400,000 American lives have been lost due to the coronavirus. Be with that for a second. Hundreds of African Americans, mostly unarmed African Americans, have lost their lives due to encounters of violence with bad actors in law enforcement. It has not been overshadowed because the coronavirus is occurring. This is happening still across our nation. I want you to soak these things in. I want you to creep through this message with me. Don't rush, creep through. I'm intentionally slowing it down so that now you can hear this scripture more clearly. Weeping may endure. We are living in a time of mourning and weeping, and yet everything around us is telling us to keep it moving, don't stop, keep it moving. And so for many of us, as we're moving through this particular pandemic, we're trying to move through like we're treading water to keep our heads above water, and we have not stopped to check in with what it really means to be living at the effect of the times where we are. And for many of the Unity folks, I think this happens because we have a wrong idea about what it means to be in a time of mourning, to be in a time of weeping. We're in a tradition that tells us to think positive and to adopt an optimistic outlook. But let us not confuse experiencing the full range of human emotions with being negative. Did you hear what I said? Let us not confuse experiencing the full range of human emotions to be negative. And so some of us Unity people say, well, I'm not going to pay attention to it. I'm going to block it out. It's not happening. La, 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 la. Nothing's going on. I'm just going to be positive. I'm going to be positive. But you're going la, 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 la. Nothing going on is not negating the facts. And so what I want to say to our beloved Unity people and those of us who tend to identify ourselves as a positive idealists, that your ability, your capacity to connect to the experiences of life that are sad, that are hurtful, that are painful, that are cold, to tap in, to touch, to experience, to host the bitter winter experiences of life does not make you a negative person. Experiencing sadness does not make you a negative person, no more than experiencing joy makes you a positive person. Let me say it again. Experiencing sadness does not make you a negative person, no more than experiencing joy makes you a positive person. And there are individuals who experience joy that aren't so positive. If you're sitting next to one, just look straight ahead. Just don't even blink. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So what must we do in this spiritual journey? Remember that we're spiritual beings now. Don't lose sight of that. I'm going to keep bringing that back to your attention. Spiritual beings living in a spiritual universe governed by spiritual laws, choosing to have a human experience. I'm a soul seeking to express through a physical body in a three-dimensional world. I'm having this human experience, and so I must participate fully in the human enterprise without letting go of the reality that I'm spirit. So, let sad things make you sad. Let sad things make you sad in the same way that happy things make you happy. Allow yourself to be desensitized by all of the outer distractions that causes our hearts to be calloused by life rather than cultivated by life. Let sad things touch you. Don't confuse yourself with the emotional weather that's going on inside of you, but allow yourself to experience the currents of emotions that flow in and through you, for they are coming to and through you to make you fully human. Are you hanging on to every word? I want you to hang on. Hang on. I'm going to repeat it because it is worth hearing again. Do not confuse yourself with the emotional weather that's going on inside of you and the set of emotions that we may be experiencing right now may look like some sadness and some bitterness and some anger and some frustration. That kind of emotion, the storminess that may be going on within you. Allow yourself as the observer to experience the current of emotions that are flowing in and through you, for they have not come to harm you in any way. They have come to make you fully human. Fully human. And to be fully human is to be divine. To be fully human is to be divine. It's when we're operating in half our humanity. It's when we're operating in a percentile of our humanity that we then become something other than human, and certainly that we become something other than divine. I hope you're hanging out with me. I hope you're working with me, walking with me, rocking with me right now. Because I'm going somewhere with this. 400,000 souls gone from their families, gone from their workplaces, won't be at Thanksgiving table, no more Christmas, Hanukkah, Easter, birthdays. It's sad. It's painful. It's hurtful. Makes us feel helpless. Makes us feel overwhelmed. But beloveds, let it not make us or keep us in a place of being numb. Because then we don't get the benefit of the experience. When I'm numb, I'm neutral. When I'm numb, I'm not growing. When I'm numb, I'm not fully connected. I'm blocking out a part of the evolutionary process that is activated in all of life's experiences. So let yourself weep. Weep. Mourn. For what doing so makes of you. Let's look at it a little more closely now. I received a phone call a few weeks ago at about 3 a.m. in the morning. And some of you know about those 3 a.m. phone calls. But I'm one of those individuals who lives a life where I receive 3 a.m. phone calls. And it was one of my 3 a.m. friends, my dear, beloved friend, Angelique. I've known her for many years. In fact, my eldest daughter is named in honor of her because she was the person who facilitated Anita and I coming together. And I told Angie, I call her Angie, I said, Ange, if I meet somebody on this Match.com and we get married, I'm naming my firstborn after you. And so it is. We have an Angie in our household. Angie and I, we're close. And she called, sobbing, Kevin. She was sobbing. And she was sobbing, and she kept sobbing. And then I started crying. What's the matter? What's the matter, Ange? What's the matter? Come on, tell me. What's going on? Kevin. And then hearing my friend, I knew someone had died. I knew something terrible. She experienced it as being really, this was the one. Come on, I'm here, Ange. The day before was her birthday, and I typically call her on her birthday, but I was busy that day. And so was she, because on her birthday, her mother found her brother in the bathroom of her house, having overdosed on drugs, dead, her only son. And just calling me at 3 a.m. to tell me that her baby's gone, her baby brother, she loved him so much. It was so sad, it was so heartbreaking, because I know the journey that these two shared together. I know how much she felt he personally belonged to her. And in the time that we were together, I had this tug in me. And this happens to all of us when we are confronted with this kind of heartbreaking, heart-crushing sadness. We want to fix it. That was my girl. That's my girl. I named my baby, my firstborn, after her. That's my Ange, and she is in tremendous pain. I want to fix it. And so I was tempted to fix it. I was tempted to solve it. And then I remembered there is a time for mourning. Weeping may endure. Listen to it. Listen to it. Listen to the words. Hang on to every word. Weeping may endure. Weeping has permission to endure. That's what it's saying. Weeping may, not in the sense of it's a possibility that it might occur. No, weeping may has permission in that sense. Weeping may endure. You are allowed to have a period of weeping. And she was not crying, beloveds. She was weeping. Do you know the death cry? You know the wailing. The wailing. It's a visceral kind of thing that one does to purge himself, to purge herself of the unimaginable crushing weight of the pain of irrevocable loss. She was wailing. And I didn't need to fix it. I just needed to be with her in her time of weeping. And I say that to all of you, that our nation is experiencing a period of weeping. And it's okay to weep. In the Jewish tradition, there's a period called Shiva. After someone has lost a loved one due to some form of death, our Jewish relatives do what's called sitting Shiva for a period of time where they move through the ocean of emotions that comes with letting go of a beloved. It's a prescribed part of their faith tradition. Why? Because of the promise. Weeping may endure, but joy comes in the morning. Weeping may endure, how long? For a night. How long? For a night. Weeping has permission to endure for a night. Weeping has permission to endure for a night. Beloveds, the psalmist is using the term night as a metaphor. It's metaphysical. A night is this indefinite period of time where we face the bitter, the brutal, the painful, the unthinkable. It is that period of time where we experience the puzzling feeling of being lost, or the experience of having lost someone. The psalmist uses night to paint the canvas to help us to see there will be weeping for a night. If you are listening to me, you will have your night. Sometimes we refer to it as the dark night of the soul. And I really have, in my experience of this, in my experience walking in my own dark night, in my experience walking with others in these dark nights, in the night, it's interesting, usually when this period of mourning kicks in, this process of purging the self and the soul, it usually happens after 12 or at midnight. At midnight. At midnight. Did I ask you to hang on to every word? At midnight. It usually, the soul starts to process this stuff when the subconscious or when the conscious mind is not so active in the deep parts of the night, when there's not so many distractions at midnight. Why? Because the mourning process has a time limit. It's temporal. Not meant to stay, it has come to pass. It's not meant to stay, it has come to pass. It has come to pass. Type that in the chat room. It has come to pass. And if you know anything about what we call the wee hours, those midnight hours are the wee hours. Why? They are the fleeting hours. They're not the entire narrative. They're not the entire story. They're just
on the fringes of the whole story. Let's not blow the whole thing out of proportion. The wee hours of the morning, the night that comes to us because it's coming for us, and it can't last very long. Now that's the gospel. That's the good news. Whatever it is you're moving through, this period of mourning, if you move through the period of mourning that comes through your night experience, there is a promise. Here's the promise. Here's the promise. Working with the master teacher, listen to how Jesus teaches this. Matthew 5, verse 4. He says there's a blessing coming. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are those who walk through the dark night of the soul, because the morning cometh. From morning comes morning. Every period of mourning is attached to mourning. And this is why we mourn in the middle of the night, midnight, because it's a halfway point. It's a pivotal point in our unfoldment. And we've got to allow ourselves to move through the period of mourning so that more can become of us. Am I on somebody's block tonight? Am I in somebody's business today? Are you hearing? Are you picking up what I'm putting down this morning? Let's get to it a little bit. The master teacher says there's a blessing that comes when we mourn. How do we do it, Rev Kev? How do we do it? Because I don't want this to eat me up. I don't want to pay attention to all this. I want to let all this in because I don't want to become depressed. I don't want to become anger and bitter and filled with revenge. And I don't want to be all that. I want to stay positive. I want to have a positive outlook. But I want you to know that in as much as day and night are a part of the experience that keeps harmony and balance in the universe, so it is with mourning and comfort. We're really looking at what's called the law of opposites. This law of opposites. There's always the equal and opposite, but in each case, there's a benefit, there's a blessing. Let me show you how to weep. Weep is an acronym. W-E-E-P. W-E-E-P. W. Walk through the pain. Walk. Wait. Wade. W. Walk. Wait. Wade. There's something about placing yourself in the experience. Experience. Walk in the experience. Wait in the experience. Wade in the experience. My ancestors experienced such tremendous traumatization And it was said that you could hear the wailing and the weeping from the slave quarters. But after waiting, they were able to transmute those experiences into what's called spirituals. And they started to get the blessing that were attached to these difficult times. And you would hear that wailing turn into singing. Wade in the water. Wade in the water. Children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Water metaphysically represents the periods of uncertainty, instability. They were telling us to face it, get waist deep in it, wade in it, walk through it. Don't avoid your experiences, walk through them. But while you're walking through them, expect something. W, wait, walk, wait. E, experience. In and through the experience. E, expect. Expect. Remember I said that it's temporal. Point to yourself and say, what I'm going through, what I'm growing through is temporal. Come on. What I'm going through, what I'm growing through is temporal. Expect. So as you move through the grief and as the grief moves through you, as you move through the mourning and as the mourning moves through you, I want you to notice that the landscape is changing around you. Things are still moving around you as they are moving in and through you. I want you to expect what? P, the promise. The promise. W-E-E-P. Wait, walk, wade. E, the experience. Wade in the experience and expect the promise. And what is the promise of the night? What is the promise of the night? The promise of the night is that it has never been victorious over the morning. It has never defeated the rising of the sun. It has never been able to completely quench the rays of tomorrow. Oh, that's the promise. So let yourself have the experience of weeping, knowing that I am in this experience only for a moment. The promise cometh. The scripture says that joy cometh in the morning. Joy comes in the morning. Listen to it, listen to it, listen to it, listen to it. Joy comes with the morning. They are of the same hand. Joy and mourning are of the same hand. They clean each other. They are in cooperation. So it may be more than one time that you will weep, but then there's joy. There's weeping and there's joy. There's day and then there's night. There's challenge and then there's triumph. Oh, remember this, beloved. We move from mourning to morning. When we feel like we as a nation for the last 4 or more years had lost our way. We felt a great sense of loss. We lost a sense of direction in this country. Many of us have felt that the rhetoric of hate, the rhetoric of inhumanity, the recklessness with which we were seeing represented in our nation, that was experienced as a nation, the sense of loss of light, the sense of loss of direction, the sense of loss of purpose, the sense of us being a beacon on a hill and an example of how to build freedom in the world. We experienced so much separation and duality and division that we felt a loss, and the nation has been grieving. The nation has been mourning. And for some of us, we thought it would never end. We thought it would never end. We thought it would never end. And at the bottom of one of the most horrific, frightening, tragic experiences that we've witnessed in our nation's history, on the very day that we were to come together to preserve democracy, a tremendous threat came, and we thought that this was a death blow for who we were. But then there's the promise. The promise. And for me, that promise came when those legislators said, not on our watch. This is sad, this is dark, this is traumatic, this is shameful, but not on our watch. We will continue to represent the light that we know this nation is supposed to be. And suddenly, there was an opening for a new way of showing up in our world. And I know you all may have mixed emotions about the outcome of the recent election, and that's all right. But we witnessed something there, didn't we? We witnessed something there. We experienced something of a shift that happened in our country. We literally witnessed a mourning in our country where people started to feel the release of the great weight, where people started to experience and feel the promise, the possibility of tomorrow. Why? Because in as much as words have the power to wound, words have the power to transform. It has the power to throw open the dark curtain into the consciousness of a nation. And that's what we witnessed. Individuals grasping for words that would call us to a place of healing, that would cause us to a place of hope, that would cause us to a place of unity, that would cause us to remember the light. It's never too late to be ignited by the spark of unjaded optimism. For even the most experienced midnights are still mystified by the sighting of dawn's early light. Something about the cynic that cannot resist the allure of light. And nothing for me was more illuminating on that great morning than to see the granddaughter of one of our former board members at Unity of Sacramento stand before the nation in all of her little chocolate glory, pulled and snatched and dressed in yellow to represent the light. She spoke into our souls the remembrance of who we really are and who we have come here to be. And I must tell you that my chest swelled with the pride of 1,000 fathers. My chest swelled with the pride of 1,000 fathers as Amanda Gorman, Bertha Gorman's granddaughter, lit our nation's skies with hope again. And here are her words that I want to leave you with, especially now. No, it won't change at all because we have a new person in the White House. That won't do it. But something about changing directions can happen overnight. And she says, there's always light if only we are brave enough to see it. If only we are brave enough to be it. So, beloveds, as we move through this period of mourning, take some time and create some sacred space in your heart, in your life, to feel the gravity of it, whether it be with someone in your family or someone of a coworker or someone. Feel it, let it touch you, and then choose to be a light. Choose to come alongside someone and walk them through their period of weeping. Weeping is allowed to endure just for a night. But joy comes in the morning. You are blessed if you are willing to be a comforter, if you are brave enough to be the light now. And so it is written, and so I have spoken it, and so you have heard it, and so it is. Amen and amen.
Everybody look around and feel the hope that we've been waiting on. Everybody's glad we're in the buildings and it's just begun. Everybody look up and feel the hope that we've been waiting for. Everybody's glad because the sun is shining just because we don't see. Just look around, you can have it up yourself and out. Can you feel a brand new day? 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 Everybody's glad because the sun is shining just for us. Everybody wake up because the fun is building just because. Hello world, with the party isn't just because. Thank you world, because the wonder feeling just because. In harmony, show the world that you were liberty. It's such a change for some of so independently. Freedom you see, and set your heart singing joyfully. Just look around, for yourself to check it out. Can you feel a brand new day? 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 I've never seen. It's such a change. It's never good to make disease. Change up you see. Everybody to turn real fast for me. Just look around. You want to do something, check it out. Can you feel the brand new day? Can you feel the brand new day? Can you?
We will not be turned around or interrupted by intimidation because we know our inaction and inertia will be the inheritance of the next generation. Our blunders become their burdens. But one thing is certain. If we merge mercy with might and might with right, then love becomes our legacy and change our children's birthright. So let us leave behind a country better than the one we were left. With every breath from my bronze-pounded chest, we will raise this wounded world into a wondrous one. We will rise from the gold-limbed hills of the West. We will rise from the wind-swept Northeast, where our forefathers first realized revolution. We will rise from the lake-rimmed cities of the Midwestern states. We will rise from the sun-baked South. We will rebuild, reconcile, and recover in every known nook of our nation, in every corner called our country. Our people, diverse and beautiful, will emerge battered and beautiful. When day comes, we step out of the shade, aflame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it. For there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it.
Wow. God bless you, and thank you so much for being with us today at Unity of Sacramento. We want you to know how much we love and appreciate you. You are an essential part of this ministry, and we thank you for partnering with us year-round, in and out, through your generous financial contributions to this ministry. And if you haven't done so already, we're asking you to make Unity of Sacramento your tithing target in 2021. Make us your tithing target. And when you make a tithe, you're making a 1/10 contribution, 1/10 of what God blesses you with through your financial resources in support of the place where you receive your spiritual nourishment. And the promise in Malachi is that that same presence will honor the seed that you sow in the ground by opening up the very windows of heaven and pouring out a blessing in your life that you have not room enough to receive. In other words, I want you to have great expectations when you tithe, great expectations when you plant a seed in the ground of Unity of Sacramento. And you want to know something? You want to know something? We are good stewards of the resources that you give to us. When you give to Unity of Sacramento, you're really giving through Unity of Sacramento, because we power so many wonderful things through this ministry. We touch so many lives through this ministry, including our staff and our larger community with the resources that you entrust with us. So we want you to know that when you are partnering with this ministry, you are indeed being a force for good in the world. And here's how you give right now.
Visit our website at www.unityofsacramento.com. Right there at the top of the front page, you will see a donation button. Click there to visit our safe and secure push-pay portal. Another easy way to give is through our Unity of Sacramento app. Download the app on your smartphone or tablet, and on the front page, look toward the bottom of the page for your giving heart, which will also take you to our push-pay portal. You can also write us. Send your letters to Unity of Sacramento, 9249 Folsom Boulevard, Sacramento, California, 95826. So many people are shopping online, and if that's what you like to do, then support us through Amazon Smile. Visit smile.amazon.com and designate Unity of Sacramento as your charity of choice. You will automatically be making a contribution to our beloved community. And of course, you can always make your donation by using Venmo or Cash App, as seen on your screen.
And so let's take a moment to just speak a word of increase and prosperity and blessing over the gifts that you are giving. And we know you are making your decision and you're moving from a place of generosity to even greater generosity as you're giving your gifts right now. Divine love in and through you blesses and multiplies all that you are, all that you have, all that you give, and all that you receive from the storehouse of God. Rich supply comes to and through and for you now. And I believe it and I thank God for that. Thank you so much for your generosity. Thank you so much for responding to the prompt of Spirit. Have great expectations this year that blessings will be coming your way in expected and unexpected ways as you sow a seed in the ground of this ministry. We're seeing the very best for you. Well, we're going to leave you for now, but know that we are holding you in our thoughts and prayers this week. And we've got some wonderful programming coming up for you next week. And so plan to come back and bring friends because some great, great lessons. Remember to stay on your white stone. If you didn't get your white stone, send in for it, mail us, and we'll get one out to you. And so join us for Unity of Sacramento News Live right after this. And then just keep with us because you can also hop in our virtual Friendship Hall Zoom room where we'll get to have some FaceTime with one another. Until next week, go forth and design a life of purpose, passion, peace, and prosperity, and be a force for good in the world. I'll see you next week. Peace.
We shall write an American story of hope, not fear, of unity, not division, of light, not darkness, a story of decency and dignity, love and healing, greatness and goodness. May this be the story that guides us, the story that inspires us, and the story that tells ages yet to come that we answered the call of history. We met the moment. Democracy and hope, truth and justice did not die on our watch but thrived. That America secured liberty at home and stood once again as a beacon to the world. That is what we owe our forebears, one another, and generation to follow. So, with purpose and resolve, we turn to those tasks of our time, sustained by faith, driven by conviction, and devoted to one another and the country we love with all our hearts. May God bless America, and may God protect our troops. Thank you, America.
I am here today with a special message just for you. We are all home. Family.
Happy Sunday and welcome to another edition of Unity of Sacramento News Live. I'm your host, Rev Kev, here with my main man, 100 grand, Brother Rev E's in the building.
Hey.
How you doing, brother?
Doing good.
Happy New Year, Happy True Year.
And happy belated Inauguration Day.
Hey, happy inauguration too. All of that, we're celebrating it all. Are you still on your white stone?
I am.
Are you working with your white stone? I want you all to stay on your stone, stand on the rock this year. Let's make sure that we are in a new year and a true year, and that we're really being guided by the word.
Yes. I like that.
I'm sticking with mine. It's been so good for me so far. Yeah.
I'm not telling you mine though.
It's for you.
Yes, it is.
That's for
That's
you.
right.
And your word is for you. More than to be shared with other people, it's for you. So, but work with your white stone. If you have not received it, and we've heard that some of you have not received the white stone, please write us here at the church. Just use this address right here on your screen. Just send us a simple email and we'll get you that package in the mail so you can do the white stone and letter of God process and join us on our New Year, True Year journey. It's not too late to get started. And speaking of things happening in this new year, we're very excited to be bringing back our 9 o'clock a.m. breathing space way of meditation service. It's been fantastic.
It really has.
Yeah.
And well received. I'm so happy to see everyone enjoying meditation in the manner in which we've brought it back.
Yes, and it's really engaging. For those of you who've never been there before, not only do you have the experience of a meditation, a guided meditation experience, you have a short talk, a homily or a short message, and then we have some friendship time together. We have some time to hang out, some hang time. At the end of it, we actually get a chance to interact. I like to call it the Rev's virtual greeting line. So after it's over, I get to see you. So this is an interactive process where we really get to see you and talk with you, and you're seeing us live. You know, this is live stream, but this is live in our Zoom room. Yeah?
Yes. For my students from the Art of Meditation class, this is the perfect place to land. The breathing space way of meditation on Sundays at 9 a.m. is the perfect spot to continue your meditative practice, the things that we went through for those weeks in our class.
So make sure to check it out. You don't have to be a 9 o'clocker at Unity to experience this. Everybody is welcome, and you can access it through our Zoom platform. The information is on your screen. It's also in your e-blast, and it is also in your app. So check us out, okay? We'd love to have you there. And speaking of breathing space, we are very excited to announce our new book coming up called Breathing Space. It's a 52-week meditation journey for centered, soulful, and successful living. And we want you to just hold on. It'll be available soon for pre-order within the coming week, and it will allow you to actually have a tool that you can walk through for 52 weeks. From the time you get it to the time you use it, you can take yourself on a journey. And we've got some surprises coming up related to how we'll work with you with it. But get ready, Breathing Space book coming up as well.
Yes, most books like these, you know, you read and then you can walk away from it. But I think that you won't be able to walk away from this one. You're going to want to dig in deeper with each reading that we have in this book.
We've designed it to make you linger in it.
Yes.
You're going to linger in the breathing space. And isn't that what we want to do when we finally are able to catch our breath, to get some breathing space? We want it to expand. So stand by. Breathing Space book is coming out, and next week we'll have the information for how you can pre-order your copy. I'm excited. It's been great working with you on that.
Likewise.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. We also have opened up on Sunday mornings our virtual Friendship Hall platform. And this is an opportunity for us to simply fellowship and hang and be with each other together, just see each other. If you've missed out on seeing one another, if it's been a while that you haven't seen your favorite face, you probably can get to see them in our virtual friendship hall. It's on Zoom. It's immediately following the service every week. And the information is here. And it's also in your e-blast and on your app. At the end of this news broadcast, and after each news broadcast each week, jump in the Zoom room with us and let's hang out for Virtual Friendship Hall. I can't wait to see you. We had a rich one.
Oh my goodness.
Last week, it got deep because you start reflecting on the message. Of course, we're chit-chatting and seeing each other like we would do in Friendship Hall, but it's just good hang time.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
I mean, we get a chance to catch up on old times, some good times, to see how our families are doing, you know, little things that mean a lot.
And so this coming week, it'll be on the Zoom platform, not on Ring Central, but Zoom. So use this information to access it and check it out in your e-blast and your app if you want more information on how to jump in at any time. Looking forward to having you in Virtual Friendship Hall. So great, so great. I'm glad we're doing that.
I am too.
I hadn't seen Rod Hunt in forever. So just to see Roderick Hunt pop in there and Cynthia and others, it was just great.
And Lonnie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It was,
we didn't.
We heard her.
But we heard her.
You have the option to show your face or not show your face in the Virtual Friendship Hall. That's the cool thing about it. And we can see in your house, I'm just saying. So make sure you angle your camera in a way that will allow us to see what you want us to see. Just saying, just saying. All right, spiritual baptism is coming up. It's a part of our process for membership. Tell us a little bit more about spiritual baptism, Rev E, and when it's happening.
Well, spiritual baptism is the way that people become members at Unity of Sacramento. It's happening for new candidates who have taken Unity 101. It's going to take place this Wednesday, January 27th at 7 p.m.
I'm looking forward to that. We really have been able to recreate that sacred experience of walking with people at this most intimate time in their lives as they're saying that I'm placing God as the center and as the source of my life, and I want Unity of Sacramento to walk alongside me and be my spiritual support community. But we've been able to create that same experience through the Zoom platform.
Yes.
Because we know that there is no spot where God is not.
That's right.
And so our homes and places where we're tuning in from are sacred. They're sacred spaces. And so plan to, if you are a candidate for a spiritual baptism coming up here, we're looking forward to meeting you there in the sacred place where you are from your sacred campus here.
And for the rest of our congregants, we look forward to announcing our new members to you so that you can welcome them into the beloved community.
Yeah, there's still room for you at Unity of Sacramento. We're talking about Easter service. It's coming up. Before you know it, it'll be here, and we want to hear from you. We've sent you a survey, and we're asking you to please take a moment to complete the survey. It's a one-question survey, and we're simply asking you, do you want to have a drive-by Easter service, something that's on the campus? You can drive in and have an Easter experience from the plaza, safely, socially distanced in your car, or would you like to have Easter through this live stream platform that you're experiencing right now? Take a moment, go into the e-blast and answer that question for us. We want to make sure that we are responding in a way that's going to serve you. No matter what we do, it will be safe. You can count on that.
And spectacular. You can count on that too.
Yeah, that's our way, isn't it? Big Give is back. The Unity of Sacramento Big Give. If you remember, this is our Way of Service program here. The Big Give 2021 is back, and we have some ways that you can be of service with your time, your treasure, and your talent here at Unity of Sacramento, and give back to the place that is giving your spiritual food. And we know that in COVID-19, we had to shift and change a little bit, but we have come up with some ways that you can serve in person, minimally, COVID safe, but mostly virtually.
Yes.
How can they get signed up before we do the big launch of Big Give 2021?
Well, we want you to contact Janelle Smalls, our administrative manager. Her information is right here, and she can tell you all of the different ways that you can serve. It could be that you can support us through sending out mailers, or perhaps you'd like to be a virtual host for us, or maybe you are an excellent organizer. Whatever it is, there's a space for you to serve and to give, to be a big giver in a big way here.
So we look forward to you getting in touch with Janelle. Unity of Sacramento counts on your support. And this is, for us, the fulfillment of our teaching. Service is the rent, as Marion Wright Edelman said, service is the rent we pay for being on this earth. Our just service, our just contribution back to God, to life. And so we invite you to recommit to the Big Give and find your way to do so now. I want you to do that this year. I always love the opportunity to bump into the Drinas of the world, you know.
Yes.
And the Carlas and the Hung Lees and the Janets of the world and the Rods of the world. And we can go down the list of all the folks that make this place extra special through their devoted service to God.
Hours and hours of devoted service.
Yes, yes. So fulfillment of our faith. We put our feet to faith through our service. And just as we wrap up this big give, as we wrap up this Unity of Sacramento News broadcast, we want to make sure that your information is up to date with us at Unity of Sacramento. And again, it's so important that, especially now that we know that you're getting our e-blast, that you're on our mailing list, that you're receiving the communications, because we really have no other way of knowing if we are reaching you if your information is not updated. And especially because we are having our upcoming Board of Trustee elections. And for that, we want to make sure that everybody who should be informed is being informed about that particular event. So if you know someone that is not receiving our correspondence, will you please contact us here at Unity of Sacramento? Contact Janelle. Let's get you updated in our records so that we can keep you informed. So important.
Yes, it is.
All right. You guys continue to hang out with us here, because we're going to see you on the other side at our virtual Friendship Hall in just a minute.
Yes.
Thanks so much. Peace
See you there.
and blessings. Until next week.